In a world where first impressions can be deceiving, one man's humiliation turned into a moment of profound recognition. Kicked out of a restaurant for his shabby appearance, he never expected what would happen next until the mayor stood up and revealed the truth behind his tattered uniform. What followed was a shocking twist that left the entire room in awe and inspired a city to rethink the meaning of respect. The diner was packed, the air buzzing with laughter and clinking silverware. But when a weary-looking man in a faded, mud-stained uniform walked in, the atmosphere shifted. His boots were scuffed, his face lined with exhaustion, and the hostess eyed him with thinly veiled disdain. "Sorry, sir," she said coldly, "but we have a dress code." Before he could explain, the manager stepped in, insisting he leave. His appearance was bad for business. Embarrassed, the man turned to go. Shoulders slumped. Just then, a voice boomed across the room. "Wait!" All heads turned as the city's mayor, dining in the corner, stood up. He strode toward the man, his expression a mix of shock and anger. Then, in front of the stunned crowd, he pointed at the tattered insignia on the man's sleeve. "This man is a decorated war veteran," the mayor declared. "That dirty uniform is from years of service saving lives while we sit here in comfort." Silence fell. The manager paled. Within minutes, the restaurant staff rushed to apologize, offering the veteran a complimentary meal. But the mayor wasn't done. He turned to the crowd and delivered a powerful message about judging others, especially those who've sacrificed everything. By the next day, the story had gone viral. The restaurant issued a public apology and announced free meals for all veterans. The veteran, once shamed, became a local hero. His ordeal a wake-up call for an entire community. Because sometimes, the most inspiring moments come from the most shocking acts of disrespect, and the courage to stand up and say, "This is wrong." The veteran, whose name was revealed to be Sergeant Daniel Carter, tried to downplay the incident. "I just wanted a hot meal," he told reporters later, his voice humble. But the mayor, Thomas Reynolds, refused to let the moment fade. He invited Carter to City Hall, where he honored him publicly for his service, not just in the military, but also for the quiet dignity he had shown that night. News of the confrontation spread like wildfire. The restaurant, once criticized for its harsh treatment, faced backlash, but instead of doubling down, the owner apologized personally to Carter and announced a new policy: free monthly dinners for veterans and active duty service members. Other businesses in the city followed suit, launching their own initiatives to honor those who served. Meanwhile, the mayor used the moment to push for a citywide Respect the Uniform campaign, urging people to look beyond appearances and recognize the sacrifices behind the symbols. Schools invited veterans to speak, and local artists painted murals honoring military service. Carter, a modest man who had struggled with homelessness after returning from deployment, found himself overwhelmed by the support. But instead of basking in the spotlight, he used his sudden platform to help others. He teamed up with a local nonprofit to provide job training for homeless veterans, turning his moment of humiliation into a movement of hope. At the grand opening of the new Veterans Center, Carter stood beside the mayor, looking out at the crowd. "A few weeks ago, I was asked to leave a restaurant," he said, his voice steady. "But today, I see a city that's choosing to do better. That's all any of us can ask for, a chance to be seen for who we truly are." As the event wrapped up, the restaurant manager, who had turned Carter away, approached him, hand extended. "I was wrong," he admitted, "and I want to make it right, not just for you, but for others like you." Carter shook his head, understanding that sometimes change starts with a single moment of courage. The mayor later said it best. That night, a man was judged by his appearance, but today, an entire city is being judged by its actions, and we choose to do better. And with that, a story that began with rejection became one of redemption, respect, and the power of second chances. The story came full circle when, one evening, Sergeant Daniel Carter returned to the same restaurant, this time not as an outcast, but as an honored guest. The staff greeted him warmly, and the mayor joined him at the table. As they sat together, laughing over a shared meal, a local photographer captured the moment. A veteran, once turned away, now celebrated by the very people who had underestimated him.